Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Suikoden. Since last time, I removed Milich and I removed Kirkus from the party, and I replaced Milich with Flick. I did this basically just because I was like, I haven't used Flick in a while, and I think his power will end up being a little bit higher. His magic stat is not as good, but he's a few levels behind where Milich was, so I think that he might catch up. Also, I replaced Cleo's Earth Rune with the Flowing Rune that we got in the last time. It is, as I suspected, an upgraded version of the Water Rune, so she will be basically our main healer for this next upcoming area. Kai is about the same, everybody else is about the same, and I have only 5 members because we're about to get a mandatory party member for Neclord's Dungeon, so I figured why bother having anybody else. Now let's do what I said I'd do last time and recruit Window here. Yeah, he's got the Window Rune. Wonderful, let's give it to him. Cool, good stained glass window maker. Okay, so we got another guy in the army. Awesome. Now let's continue on with the main story here. How's it going? Yeah, we had this weapon. Watch your tongue. Say hello to a human, you say hello. Yeah, well, we hope so. Vampires are nothing to the sword, according to the sword. Yeah, good. A wedding invitation. Oh boy, this guy is cocky as hell. I guess he has a right to be. He's been terrorizing people for over 300 years. Tengaar will be drained of blood. We gotta save her. I like Tengaar, so I liked what I saw of her, so let's save her. First, let's talk to Hicks here and see what he has to say. He can't go. He's still an officer. He's not allowed to go to work, but it's like obvious they like each other. This is bugging me. Why did you just come along, Hicks? Alright, so we gotta head over to Neclord's castle, and we'll fight some sorcerers, why not? We should get a little bit of extra experience because we don't have a 6th member, so it's not split 6 ways. But it's probably not enough to really do much except get Flick a couple levels. Cool. Let's continue on. Alright. I don't want to fight you. Wasn't worth it. When we're in Neclord's castle, we'll get plenty of experience. Whatever. Later, dude. Okay, let's see what we got here. Ah, the dulcet tones of an organ. I'm a fan of organ music myself. I think it's very creepy and beautiful. Haunting is how I would describe it. Okay, we're storming the castle. Good times, man. This is classic stuff. Let's use some Frankenstein torches. Oh, he just came out to meet us. That's cool. Yeah, that's true. It is rude. Yeah. Ugh, this is creepy on a lot of levels. Yeah, I am. Most honored guest tonight. If you don't make it to the top of the castle by sunset, Tengaar will be mine forever. Understood? I see. So it's like reverse vampirism. So, he only invited me, right? Well. Yeah. And I guess he's doing a favor for his old friend Wendy, trying to take us out. Yeah, okay. I'll do my best, man. But before we are able to go into Neclord's castle, we have Hicks. And we have no choice but to take Hicks. He's an unproven warrior, but he's given his sort of name, most likely. I mean, yeah. Yeah, let's just let him come. We could use a 6th member, after all. Clift the Crusader, huh? I think they mentioned him before. Huh. What are you gonna name the sword? Okay. So we got Hicks. And as always, when you get a new member, or mandatory member, I should say, that you've never used before, first thing you should do, mess with the formation. So let's put Hicks where Flick is now, put Victor where Mamba is, and Flick where he is. Another reason I like to put Flick in our party is because since we are dealing with Warriors Village stuff, I felt it appropriate that he sort of be our point man on that. But Hicks has a sword called Tengaar, much like Flick has a sword called Odessa. So these are their beloveds. And that's sort of adorable. But Hicks's weapon is far inferior to ours. Just get out of the way, man. Thanks. I'll save her, but don't worry about it. We need to upgrade Hicks's stuff. Hicks will be basically useless to us unless he has a properly upgraded weapon and proper armor, because Neclord's dungeon is one of the harder dungeons in the game. If not the hardest, actually. It's pretty tough. Mostly because of Neclord himself, which, as I've mentioned in the last episode, I believe he's the hardest boss in the game. So, including the final boss, I think he's harder than that. So, we want to be well prepared for him, and that means upgrading stuff for everybody. I mean, making sure that our crew is really ready to go. And that obviously means this. Let's talk to Onal. Neclord's favorite paintings are Peasant Girl, Girl in the Early Afternoon, and Chestnut Tree in that order. This is a hint for an upcoming puzzle. I love Onal, but his most favorite is his own painting. Thank you. There's a puzzle later that is pretty challenging if you don't talk to Onal, which is strange because obviously she's nowhere near where you are in the castle. Like, if you were to just kind of charge into the castle, that puzzle will give you trouble. But thanks to Onal, we'll remember that. Now we're going to get Tengaar all the way up to level 15, using a huge amount of bits to do it, but that's worth it. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to look at Hicks's rune. He has none, so we want to make sure that we get him a decent rune. Something like the clone rune would be good. I'm going to give him the killer rune, which will up his critical hit chance. But it's up to you. I think that the killer rune is usually a pretty solid choice on physical attackers like Hicks. So, let's grab one for him. I think it's, where is it? Yeah, there it is. And his stuff could definitely use some improvements. I'm not sure if he uses a shield or not, but all of this stuff is junk. Yeah, he does use a shield, but it's a wooden shield, which is crap. So obviously we want to upgrade him. So he can use a full helmet. He can use... I guess he can't use full armor, but he can use a full helmet anyway. Dragon armor for Hicks. We'll grab him. Oh, silver necklace actually is pretty good. That's a new thing that ups defense, but I don't know who can wear it. Let's get him 2 guard rings, and let's grab him a chaos shield. Cool. So Hicks is now all set and ready to go as soon as I get him that rune. Yeah. Good stuff. His defense is 200. Awesome. That's a good threshold. Let's attach the killer crystal to Hicks, and we're headed for Neclord's castle. I'll probably get about halfway through the castle this episode and halfway next time, because it is quite long. So, be prepared. It's one of the longest dungeons in the game. I think it's right up there with, like, the final dungeon. Which is unfortunate, because I actually kind of dislike the Neclord part of this game. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's sort of like, whatever, Neclord. He's a vampire. It's very Castlevania-y, which is not unexpected considering this is a Konami game. So, he's sort of their little, I guess, reference to Dracula. But he's just not that cool. He's just a vampire who, kidnaps a girl. I mean, he's basically a classic monster movie type character. Anyway. I guess if you're into that stuff, Neclord's pretty rad. I do like the music that his castle has, though. Okay. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. I'm not paying attention. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Do some battle. Alright, we're ready to go. So the first thing we want to do is go into this room, and there's a staircase down here, and we can grab this. And it's a full helmet. Awesome! I just bought one for Hicks, but whatever. Fine. Let's talk to this guy. Sure. Yeah, okay. I don't... Bits are nothing to me. Some paintings in the third floor, Master Neclord, don't look. Set painting to the right, I said don't look, and then the third one on the right, stop looking. So he's giving us hints to that puzzle. I paid him just because I'm very loose with my cash, but I'll show you the solution to that puzzle. Since we talked to Onal, she gives it for free, but whatever. We're supposed to look at the paintings in a certain order. Let's go. Alright, so Neclord's castle consists of a lot of winding through hallways, and oops. And then once we do that, we actually end up outside on balconies and just continue to head up very gradually. It's kind of a spiral. So that's the way this dungeon is constructed. So here we are on the balcony, now we go out, and as we climb the balcony, it gets darker and darker. Because, as Neclord said, we're supposed to make it there before sunset. Our Unite attack is still capable of taking out all the enemies we run across, which is really nice. And Flick and Hicks are gradually catching up with Victor, Mamba, and Cleo, which is really nice, because we really need that. Okay. So... I'm making a mistake. I'm trying to go into that. I don't think there's a way in. Okay, yeah. Well, anyway, we can fight these guys. No big deal. That's some experience for us, which will be good. We're gonna need as much as we can get, so... I'm hoping that we can get to about level 47 by the time we fight Neclord. Yeah, so that's not a room. It looked like one, but it was not. I was wrong. So here's the staircase that leads up. Let's go up. And now what we want to do is battle these guys. Oh yeah, I mentioned I wanted to show you guys some of these things, so I think I'll do that. I've showed you guys the deadly fingertips. I'll show you the next one on the docket. Yeah, so you can see that basically instead of the Fog of Deception being the second skill, it's now the first and gets a ton more charges. The Rain of Kindness, which used to be the third skill, is now the second, etc., etc. So it's really, really much more powerful rune. We have a lot more free healing. So this skill actually does damage, unlike the first skill, which is basically just a banish. I'm not going to show off the Hell Bat skill because I think it's too valuable, but I'll do it against Neclord, so you have that to look forward to. Let's go in here. Here we find a sound setting, which is nice. We can give that to Melody, who's the kid who we gave the sound rune to. The window settings we give to Window, the sound settings we give to Melody, and then the old books we give to Hugo. And then all the paints, obviously, we give to Ivanov. So those are kind of the nice little extra stuff we can get. We want to head into all these rooms and get all these treasures. They're all kind of worthless, but whatever. Not the worst. So here is the puzzle. Well, no it isn't. Here's Larva. I lied. Flick's doing a solid amount of damage. Anyway. So here is the puzzle that we need to look at. So, as you'll remember, we learned that Neclord likes the pictures in a certain order. So, the first one we want to do, and we can tell which one it is. So the one on the left is Neclord. The second one is the girl in the early afternoon, and the fourth one is the peasant girl picture. So if you were paying attention to what Onal said, and what the zombie said if you paid him, you'll know that you want to look at the chestnut tree one first. And then you want to look at the girl in the early afternoon one. And then you want to look at the peasant girl. And finally, at the one depicting the vampire himself. Because that is his favorite picture. And that opens up the next path. That's really the only puzzle that's in here, so it's pretty simple once you get that puzzle down. The rest of the castle is just this winding way up. And as you can see, the sky is a little bit darker now, which is really bad. So we're going to continue it on for a little while. So, next we want to go into here and battle these fools. Okay, those guys dead. That's cool. And we got earth boots, which are I believe they are an accessory that is superior to the guard ring. So we want to give that to Mamba if possible. Yeah, he has space. Because we don't want Mamba to die. We want to make sure he stays safe. Now, next thing we want to do is we want to head into the westernmost room here, and that treasure chest will have the green paint, which is really nice. We have almost all the paints to give to Ivanov. Oh my goodness. Doing some battle here. A lot of these ghost type creatures, ghosts and skeletons. It's interesting that they mentioned a lot of zombies, yet we haven't fought any. Anyway, I don't know what's up with that, but we want to go through this center room with all the coffins, and up to the next floor. On the next floor, we want to go into this room. Basically, anytime you see any of these small little rooms like this, you want to go in them, because they almost always have treasure chests. So, it's pretty easy to tell that they don't really lead anywhere. It's kind of nice of the game designers, I guess. Cool. We're almost level 47 with Mamba. Excellent. Let's grab that. It's got an antitoxin, which is okay. Next, we want to go down here. And here we'll find an earth rune piece, which is pretty nice. And then we want to go up here after killing more guys, obviously. That's what we do, man. Cool stuff, man. Okay. Leo should be able to kill him. Okay, maybe not. Oh, that'll kill him. Almost there. We're pretty good. Head back out on the balcony, and now it is nice and dark. Getting dark, which is not great, but what can you do about it? Okay. That looks like a room we should get a treasure in, so let's go in there after killing this lone dude. Excellent. 2,000 bits. Let's grab that. As a Cape of Darkness, and I think that is yet another accessory that is slightly better than a guard ring. Nope, I was wrong. So let's not worry about that. I think what exactly does that do? Just defense plus 13, that's not very good. It's weird that they'd give you that in this dungeon. So, I think we're about there. I think we have one more treasure, and then we're ready to battle the vampire. Yeah, magic rune piece, excellent. We want that for sure. Very, very valuable. Give it to Mamba. Magic stat is, in my opinion, the most important stat in this game, as I've said before, just because it covers both magic attack and defense, which is sort of dumb. But we have reached the top of the castle, and here is Neclord himself. Playing on a giant organ, just like any good gothic character ever since Phantom of the Opera, you know? Gotta have a cool giant organ. Oddly recognizable. Here comes the bride, type thing. But I think we'll have to see how our battle with Neclord goes next time, because we are out of time. So I will see you then.